Honorable Men Discord. Don't be Scottie Pippen. Let's talk about it. Gentlemen, 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 gentlemen. Disclaimer. Back in the days, I was a Chicago Bulls fan. I was a fan of both Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, the entire team. Anyone who played on Chicago Bulls, I was a fan of. But ever since the pandemic and the documentary regarding the Chicago Bulls, The Last Dance, it seems as though Scottie Pippen's been on a campaign to whine and complain, which is the same thing, about not being, I guess, recognized enough, not being appreciated enough. It's exhausting. All right. So when I say don't be Scottie Pippen, this is the question I have for any one of you. Feel free to answer in the comments, please. What does another grown man owe you? Now, in all fairness to Scottie, I don't know the backstory of his relationship with Michael Jordan. I don't know if Michael Jordan ever made him promises that he didn't keep. But just in general, yes, this is about Scottie Pippen, but this is also about relationships, friendships that we have with other men, whether it's childhood friends, whether it's friends from work. What does a man owe another man? What exactly does Michael Jordan owe Scottie Pippen? Because last time I checked, to get into the NBA, you're an individual player who has to make a name for yourself in high school. And if you went to college, you have to make for your name in that college. And then based on your resume on the court, NBA scouts will find you and potentially put you in the draft. Now, if that's not the order of operations, again, please correct me in the comments. Scottie Pippen, ever since the Last Dance documentary on Netflix, it seems as though he's just been on a campaign to complain about not getting his just due. And what's making it, for me, this is for me, what's making it mentally draining is that he's single-handedly tarnishing any memory that I used to have of the Chicago Bulls. Because for the memories that I had when I was a child watching the Chicago Bulls, it was watching Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Eventually, Dennis Rodman came on the team, but it was just Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, the dynamic duo, Batman, Robin, just going to work and just giving other teams the business. Scottie Pippen, if he felt that way back then, he just harbored those emotions, and now he feels the need to go out there on PBD podcast and just whine. Now, in all fairness to Scottie, I believe the host of PBD, he asked him questions in regard to his relationship with Michael Jordan, as far as where does it stand at this present time. Now, I'm trying to give Scottie Pippen a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, but here's the thing. Scottie Pippen, in any interview that he's had, is eventually going to be asked about Michael Jordan. Because Scottie Pippen is the closest thing that the public knows to Michael Jordan, based on their relationship as teammates. Now, Scottie Pippen, as a grown man, has the right to just say that he doesn't want to answer any questions about Michael Jordan because he's on any particular interview or show or podcast to speak about his career and his life story. He can do that. He has that option. I'm pretty sure before he goes on any show for any interview, he can make that clear. Listen, hey, I'll do your podcast, I'll do your interview. Please don't ask me any questions about Michael Jordan because that was in the past. We had a great run, but I have other things that I'm attending to as of right now and things that I'd like to discuss on your platform. Scottie Pippen has the right to say that. But for some reason, Scottie Pippen gets on these podcasts and he just seems like a bitter female. I'll be honest, he seems like a bitter female. If you disagree with me, I'll be in the comments. And I say that reluctantly. I say that reluctantly because, again, as a teenager, I was a huge Chicago Bulls fan. You couldn't tell me anything about Chicago Bulls. You couldn't tell me not one thing about Chicago Bulls. But what I'm seeing right now at this grown age, I'm grown, which means Scottie Pippen is even more grown than I am. Okay? Because like I said, I used to watch the Chicago Bulls when I was a teenager. So at my grown age right now, having to watch Scottie Pippen sound so bitter as though Jordan owes him something. Listen. Again, my question to you gentlemen watching. What does any man owe you? What does any man owe you? At what point as a man do you say to yourself, you take accountability for yourself and say, listen, no man owes me anything. I wouldn't even care if the man made a promise. If the man, if he sees the promise through, then great, he's a man of his word. But if he doesn't, are you sitting waiting for that man to deliver? No, really, guys, please. Are you waiting for another man to deliver on a promise to set you free? Because Scottie Pippen sounds like someone who is on a campaign of bitterness because he had expectations for Michael Jordan to deliver, and Michael Jordan didn't deliver, and so now he's upset. And if I'm wrong about that observation, again, I'll see you in the comments. But I'm just a little exhausted with this. Gentlemen, we have to get out there and do for ourselves. That's part of being a man. Now, if you don't like that honesty and that realness, then I'm sorry for you. If you don't like that responsibility, it's not up to me and it's not up to you. You unfortunately can't change the fact that you're a man. Well, it's 2025 and we're in the Western world, so let me not say that. You can't actually change. But for the most part, if you remain a male, it's your responsibility to figure it out. That's just the reality of everything. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything for you gentlemen. That's just the reality of the world that we live in. Unfortunately, no one's sitting there waiting for, no one's waiting to give you a box of tissues for your sorrows. You have to figure it out. Now, as we weave through this life, as we navigate through this life, we encounter other men that may have promised us leads, promised us assistance, and sometimes some men follow through. They stay true to their word. Sometimes some men don't follow through. What we need to realize and accept is that we're responsible for ourselves individually. Nothing gets done until you make up your mind to get it done. If anyone out there on social media is telling you anything different, they're lying to you. Nothing gets done until you make up your mind to get it done. That is probably the best advice I could ever give anyone watching. All right? Don't be Scottie Pippen. And again, I reluctantly say that about Scottie Pippen because I was a huge Chicago Bulls fan. So this is not about me trying to tear Scottie Pippen down. And by all accounts, Scottie Pippen's doing way better than I am. All right, so this is not a campaign to disrespect Scottie Pippen and his legacy. But gentlemen, stop looking for excuses. Stop looking for a shoulder to lay on. To be honest with you, those are feminine traits. All right, gentlemen, those are feminine traits. Again, I'm not going to tell you anything that's not true. At least I aim to not tell you anything that's not true. And if I do tell you something that's not true, it's for lack of proper information and proper research. So I apologize for that. But I'm going to tell you this much. It's your responsibility to figure it out. Again, if you get assistance from somebody, male or female, great. You're blessed. But if you don't, you have to figure it out. You have to figure it out. That's part of being a man. That's just the reality. I don't have anything else to tell you that's going to make you feel better about the reality of being a man. Just don't be Scottie Pippen. And if you haven't seen the PBD podcast, here's a clip from it. And really pay attention to Scottie Pippen's body language. All right? The guy seems broken. You would think he was in a romantic relationship with Michael Jordan. I mean, this is just, it's hard to watch, okay? It's cringeworthy to watch Scottie Pippen discuss Michael Jordan. You would think that he was divorced from Michael Jordan, and Michael Jordan took something from him. Don't be Scottie Pippen. Please watch this clip, and if you have anything to add, I'll see you in the comments. Watch this clip.
When's the last time you and Michael spoke?
Right around the pandemic.
Oh, so it's been a minute since you.
Yeah.
Is that the text exchange when he shot you a text May of 2020 and he said, "Hey, Scottie, I heard you're upset. Let me know when you have a minute to speak." Is that the last time you guys spoke?
Something like that.
Something like that. And did you actually call him? Like, did you guys talk or did you just text him?
No, I think we ended up speaking briefly.
Did it end up being good, the conversation?
Yeah, I guess. Good and final.
That's what it was. Good and final. Because of you or because of him?
Yeah. I don't want to pick because of who. It's just
Got it.
good and final. Well, I don't know. I mean, I just think that Michael is a very difficult person to deal with. I played with him for years, so I know that, when it's time for you to move in your direction, then go in your direction. Don't sit there and try to procrastinate or stretch it. That the relationship is not where it was or not what it used to be, and it's never going to be the same. So why try and make something out of nothing or try to make something that was never there? So,
Yeah.
great teammate, but we just never were great friends.
Never, even when you guys played.
No.
Gentlemen, we're on a journey to better ourselves. And when I say we're on a journey to better ourselves, that includes myself. I'm in it with you, all right? The growth of this podcast, the information I share, the news reports I share, we're in this together, all right? By no means am I saying that I have it all together and I'm better than any one of you watching. I'm here to say that I recognize that enough is enough and we have to do better. I started this podcast because I wanted to connect and relate with other men that have the same thinking, same mindset. But also, at times, I address the women. Because collectively, we have to do better. And we know we have to do better. Now, if we want to be delusional and act as though we have it all together, that's fine. I'm not here to cater to those that are delusional. But we have to do better. All right? Don't be Scottie Pippen. You could be Scottie Pippen if you're aiming to go to the NBA and you want to perform as well as Scottie Pippen. That's fine. But the Scottie Pippen that I'm witnessing on podcasts that seems like he's down and out and just bitter, don't be Scottie Pippen. That's not a level to reach. All right? And as always, I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.